joined here with John Still ahead of our game against Gateshead. So let's start off talking about we remain undefeated, second in the league. Could we get your thoughts on the last two games?
I think the home game here, obviously, we've played very well. I think we've played well in all the games that we've played, but sometimes the periods. I thought on Saturday with 90 minutes, I thought the performance was very good. Probably the best in terms of consistency that we've produced. So we was really happy with that. The game on Monday was obviously a different game completely in terms of pitch. I think lots of teams don't find it easy, that don't use it all the time. So from our point of view, to come away with something was pleasing. Want to win, but it wasn't to be. It was, we had to take the draw. I think playing the last 20 minutes with 10 as well. Very hot conditions, 2 games in a short space of time for both teams. I'm just saying that we were down to 10. And one thing that perhaps during this run of games we haven't been able to do was to come away with a clean sheet, and we did that Saturday, so that was very, very pleasing in terms of the big picture with scoring goals. We know sometimes that ain't going to quite work, and when it doesn't work, you need to be efficient at the other end, and we were.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, we got a clean sheet. We've only conceded 1 goal in our last 2 games, so there must be some improvement at the back.
Yeah, I think that this is a new group of players. If you look at the defenders, Sam Lingiardi played last year with injury. Craig Robson played a lot of the time in midfield as well as at the back, and he's the only consistent really of it all, because we've had Bonds and Kevin Loco, they've just come in. Luke Pennell, who missed the year with a knee injury, played the last game of the season. So it's like a new back 4 really. It takes time, it takes work. It doesn't just turn up when it happens. You have to work hard at it, which is what we've been doing. And we're hoping that if we keep working hard at it, it will keep improving.
Yeah, and in our last game, it was hot conditions, and also we played with 10 men as well, and didn't concede. So that shows as well improvement.
It does. The organisation of it was very good, and we tried to be brave. Some people, when you go down to 10 with 4-4-1, leave one up front. We went 4-3-2. We still tried to attack, leaving Ollie and Morgan up the top end of the pitch. So we tried to be positive and not negative, and to be honest, I was prepared to lose trying to win.
Yeah.
I didn't sort of say let's hold out for a draw. We wanted to win, as we did last year. We want to win, so we've done everything we could that we felt we could do to try and achieve that. But in the end, we had to settle for a point.
Yeah, and is there any news on the injuries? We saw in our last home game Michael Cheek come off due to an injury. Is there any other updates?
Michael's had a scan, which we should hear the result of today. We're hoping it's not too terrible, really. If it could come back and it gets the all clear, it can push on. So we'll have to wait and see on that. That has been a little bit of a problem. I think that the long-term one we've got has been sort of Daniel Sparks, but he's pushing on now. Having had all the operation and the injection, he's pushing on. So there might be a bit more news on where he is next week, really. Scott Doe, joint in training today, and really it's the case of once the pain subsides, because it's right on the top of his shoulder, and if you've ever had that sort of injury, like movement and all that, it's very painful. But he's done a bit today, so hopefully he'll push on next week. So he's not too bad. And we've got some bumps and bruises, but listen, day by day we'll look at the bumps and bruises and decide really. But I don't think there's anything else that's particularly long term.
Yeah, and lastly, our next game is against Gateshead, who are currently 6th. but also last season it was a side that we struggled against. So you must be expecting a tough game on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't really look at last year. Last year's gone, and you know, I think Gateshead's a good side, good manager, Neil Espin, and you know, even like before the game, every game is tough, and we know this is going to be a tough game. But I can't look back really and sort of say that anything's been easy. Probably our best performance last week, but all the other games have been hard working, tight, you know, affairs. And I'll be honest, I don't expect anything less. I expect it to be tight. I expect it to be tough and competitive. But you know, we're ready. We can't be any more ready than we are. We're ready, and hopefully we can carry on our run. But you know, it's nice to have made a decent start, whether we're top or 7 or 8 or even 9. Sometimes that's only a point or 2 behind or 3 behind at this stage of the season. So, but we've got off to a good start, and we're looking to progress all of the time, and we're hoping that we can follow the performances that we've been putting in with another good performance Saturday.
Thank you very much, John.
Cheers.